Many times, many of my friends have advised me Babaji is only a myth. Do not go behind those theories which say Babaji is alive and Babaji is doing everything. Sometimes, somewhere in the corner of my mind, also such thoughts pricks me. I I discontinue connecting with Babaji. Namaste. We are going to take up a very critical subject today. Why Babaji is not visible? Why Babaji is invisible? Why I am not able to see Mahavatar Babaji? Is he really available? Is he alive as of today? Is he 2500 years of age and still lives somewhere in Himalayas? Many people quote, I met Babaji. Many people say I spoke to Babaji. Many people say I discussed with Babaji. Many people say many things have been revealed to me about Babaji. But everything said and done, when it is coming to me, why I have not been able to see Mahavatar Babaji? Why I have not been able to see him at all, hear him at all, know him at all? I have been doing sadhana for the past 10 years, 15 years. Still, there is no sign of Babaji visibility to me. Why is he dodging me? Many times, many of my friends have advised me Babaji is only a myth. Do not go behind those theories which say Babaji is alive and Babaji is doing everything. Sometimes, somewhere in the corner of my mind, also such thoughts pricks me. I discontinue connecting with Babaji. But within a few days, I have been forced to come back to Mahavatar Babaji. Why such things are happening? What is the real status? Does it mean that my prarthana is a waste? Does it mean that my prarthana is not accepted? I am in a total confusion. Some people write volumes of books having seen Babaji. Not one chapter, not one page, not one paragraph, not one line has come true in my life. Can you clarify? If at all you have seen Babaji, if at all you have met Babaji, if at all it is truth that Babaji exists, can you throw some light on this subject? I am so thirsty. I am so confused. I am so desperate. I am so worried. I have a fear that I may leave the body without even having the awareness of Mahavatar Babaji, without even seeing Mahavatar Babaji, without hearing something from Mahavatar Babaji. How you are going to clarify will determine my life, my continuity of sadhana, my continuity of journey in the spiritual path. As I know, Babaji is alive. Okay, we will come to know whether Babaji is visible or not. If not, why he is not visible? If yes, how he is visible? And whether Babaji is living, what is his age, all those things we will discuss here. As on 2020, Babaji is 2582 years old. He has taken birth in BC 562. Adding 562 into 2020 is 2582 years. With regard to the visibility of Babaji or invisibility of Babaji is the biggest confusion everyone wanted to know. Let us be aware that Hiranyakashipu did tapas of years of penance. Ravana did tapas or penance of 10,000 years under the feet of Ishvara or Shiva. Even there are records to say that in Mahabharata, Shikandi has made tapas standing years and years on his toe. With so much of tapas, they could achieve something, they could not achieve many things. Even Ravana, having achieved so-called all virtues, being a Shiva Bhakta, what was the end? What did he do? Where did he go? How did he vanish? So it is not the question of tapas. It is question of sincerity. Just 3 days back, one person has sent me a message. As advised by you, I have been doing meditation, dhyana since 10 days during Brahma Muhurta. But I could not hear anything and I did not see Babaji and I did not hear anything from Babaji. I am dejected. Is it not a very silly question to be answered? So much of accumulation, dirt, so much of accumulation of unwanted negative energy around us, so much of accumulation of need of wealth, so much of commercial transaction running into our mind, so much of money matters running into our mind, so much of property related issues running in our mind, so much of competitions running in our mind. These are all accumulated years and years. If I am 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, almost 10 years less than of my age, I have been accumulating lot of unwanted waste around me. Is it not possible? Is it not necessary to remove all those things? Just painting a small house, that to repainting, takes about 15 days scratching the old paints. 10 days of meditation, 10 days of dhyana, just because I have told the meditation gives more value, the meditation assumes more value when it is done in Brahma Muhurta, immediately you jump into conclusion and decide on the 6th day or 7th day or 8th day or 9th day, you will have some message from Babaji. If not, immediately bounce upon a question on me. How you are justified, how I am justified, how anybody is justified to find an answer for such things. Now we will come to the point, why Mahavatar Babaji is not visible. It's a very mute point, it is a very valid question, no doubt in it. But we will try to find answer for this critical question. All my speech, all my answers, all my clarifications will be based on not on any books, not on any Google references, not on hear and say stories, not on some references found somewhere, not on other people who connected with Babaji earlier to me, not based on those connected with Babaji earlier to me who have published books, not based on those books. These are based on my personal experience. My experiential journey only is producing these answers. You will have to also experience such things by taking up a journey. Not all that what I experienced you will experience. You may experience little less, very, very less, or much more than me. It depends upon you. I go to market according to my capacity, I purchase something and come and I share my experience. You go to market, you may buy something less than what I have purchased or something more than what I have purchased. In some cases, you may purchase the entire market also. Simultaneously, you may come empty-handed also. It all depends upon your journey, your attempt, your efficiency, your intention, your thought process running, your action, and besides all, your true intention of getting something from the market. Okay, let us consider why Babaji is not visible, why and how he will be visible to us. First, we will go with an example. It will be so easy for us to understand. Most of us would have been seeing, hearing, or reading Mahabharata. The center point of Mahabharata was the concluding part with the eruption of Mahabharata war itself, the 18 days of war. In the entire Mahabharata epic, the center point of activity is assumed by Lord Sri Krishna. He has been named as the Sutradhari. He is the avatar of Mahavishnu. After Sri Rama Avatara in Tetra Yuga, the Krishna Avatara comes in Dwapara Yuga. Sri Krishna being the embodiment of truth, the direct avatar of Mahavishnu, is questioned by many, even during his presence of 120 years. No doubt in it. Every time Sri Krishna is negatively attributed to partition. Sometimes he threatens, sometimes there is cheating, sometimes there is deception, sometimes instigate adharma activity, sometimes one-sided and no truth, and unethical. Okay. When there was a encounter between Jarasandha and Bhima, Jarasandha needs to be killed because of the reason the kind of atrocities he is unleashing on his own citizens. When there was a direct encounter, physical encounter between Bhima and Jarasandha, Bhima is not able to kill Jarasandha. Every time he cuts him into two pieces vertically and throws him, every such time he gets united and comes alive to fight Bhima. Bhima becomes so tired. Now Sri Krishna with his body sign guides Bhima. Now Sri Krishna sends bodily signals to Bhima to throw Jarasandha's body once it is cut vertically, not this side or that side, but otherwise that side to this side. Jarasandha's body is made out of same trillion cells. Assuming his gigantic personality, the number of cells are more and number of cells are very powerful in the body of Jarasandha. Jarasandha is nothing other than a pure magnet. Each magnet will have two poles, one is north and one is south. When you cut a magnet, that cut piece also will have north and south pole. The north pole and north pole will not join and detract, and south pole and north pole will get attached by attraction. Now Jarasandha is a pure magnet, powerful magnet. Now as and when vertically was cut into two pieces, Sri Krishna advises him to throw in such a way that south pole and south pole faces, so that both poles will detract and there will be repulsion, there will not be any attraction. As a result of repulsion, Jarasandha cannot join and cannot come to alive. Once the body part remains unattached to each other for some time, then the life collapses. People say that this action of Sri Krishna is partition and he did not side with Jarasandha, or he should have been just a spectator. He advises only Bhima, not Jarasandha. Okay. In the next incident, similarly, Bhishma and Arjuna, a time comes when Bhishma needs to be removed from the scene. Sri Krishna advises Arjuna to hit Bhishma, but Arjuna is hesitating again and again. At one stage, Sri Krishna threatens to take his weapon and kill Bhishma, for which Arjuna says, "No, I will take the action." Knowing the weakness of Arjuna, Sikandi, a eunuch, is kept in between Bhishma and Arjuna. These actions of Sri Krishna is attributed to threatening as well as cheating in the war field. Next we will take the case of Jayadratha. Jayadratha, having played a major role in killing of Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, Arjuna wanted to kill Jayadratha the next day before the sunset. If that is not happening, Arjuna takes a vow that he will commit suicide by jumping into the fire. Jayadratha is elusive, is not visible at all. The Kaurava army is covering him with all protections. As a result, Arjuna is not able to attain, Arjuna is not able to reach where Jayadratha is there. That can happen only when sun is shining. Suddenly, there comes a situation where sunset happens. The moment sunset happens, the war stops and Jayadratha comes out. The sunset has happened as a result of Sri Krishna showing his Sudarshan Chakra in between the earth and the sun. As a result, it is assumed that sunset is there. Now sun has come out. The moment sun has come out, Krishna asks Arjuna to hit Jayadratha. This is called as adharma. People refer to it as adharma, deception, cheating, various things various people speak. In spite of Jayadratha telling that the moment you hit me, you yourself will be made into pieces. That is the kind of boon I am having. Now Sri Krishna advises Arjuna to use Divya Astra. Divya Astra is the one he can use it. By using the Divya Astra against Jayadratha, Jayadratha's head is cut and his head falls into the lap of his father, who become pieces. Both of them get killed. Now, this is another instigation, cheating, adharmic act, adharma. Now the crucial part of concluding part of this discussion about how to see Babaji, how to meet Babaji, how to hear from Babaji will come out in the second part. We can experience in the second part, and till such time we will wait for the next part. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha.